Okay, so there's this road near my house I take to get to the gym. I, for some reason, cannot stop thinking about it. Let me explain. So this road is a pretty simple residential road. There's houses on both sides. It's not the widest road, but it's normally a pretty quiet, calm road, which is why I take it instead of trying to get on a highway or anywhere else where there's a bunch of traffic. But these houses don't have garages or garage ports. So almost everybody has to park on the side of the street. And both sides of the street, mind you, are filled with cars. So what is normally a regular residential 2-lane road very quickly turns into 1 lane. And that is so fascinating because every time I'm on this road, inevitably, I end up running into another car that's trying to come the other direction. And there isn't room for both of us. So what do? One of us has to move over for the other one. We have to plan ahead and see if there are pockets of space, if there are pockets where there isn't a car parked for us to move over so the other car can move. If I don't have any space on my side where I can try to move over, I hope that the car going in the other direction has space on their side so they can let me through. If we're not planning ahead to make sure there's some space available, and we're not communicating with the other car about our needs around our space to keep moving forward, we're either gonna be at a standstill or we're gonna crash. I think I'm so intrigued by this road because I'm learning that the tactics and techniques I use to successfully navigate this, honestly, poorly designed road are techniques and lessons that I'm able to apply into my life with some relative success. Today, I want to explain a bit more to you about what those lessons are and why it is so important to build in space and margin into our lives. Space isn't a luxury. It's how we stay healthy. Space gives us margin. Margin gives us flexibility, and flexibility gives us grace. When you have no margin, every little inconvenience can feel like an emergency. But with just a little bit of breathing room, everything can feel manageable again. This is something that even Jesus modeled. In his ministry, Jesus often withdrew to quiet places and prayed. If Jesus was able to take time to withdraw and create space for himself, I think we can do that too. But it's surprisingly easy to lose track of margin. Why? Because saying yes feels good. Because we don't like to disappoint others. Because the world rewards productivity and busyness over our health and well-being. But here's the truth. When we don't protect our space, something else will come and fill it for us. And that something else rarely cares about our well-being. As we tie this all back to the story of the narrow road, how do we keep the road in our lives open? Here are 3 shifts in my life that have helped me protect margin before burnout sets in. Shift number 1, look ahead. Forecast your capacity. On that narrow road, if I don't look ahead, I'm stuck. But if I see another car coming sooner, I can plan where to pull over. In our life, it's the same thing. Every week we can look ahead and ask ourselves, what days this week are going to be busy? When am I going to need to give myself a little bit of rest? As we plan ahead, we can intentionally plan out when we can get space and rest. We can build in our own pull-off spot, our own open parking space. Even just 20 minutes of planned space can protect us from overload. And you might think that planning like this is all about trying to control our schedule and control everything. It's not about control. It's about preparing to stay healthy. Shift number 2, communicate needs before it becomes a crisis. Cars don't magically know when to stop for other cars. Someone has to signal. And just like cars, most people in our lives aren't mind readers. They don't know that we're out of space unless we tell them. How can we communicate in a healthy way? when we're out of space, we can say things like, hey, this week is pretty full for me. Can we move that meeting to next Friday? Or, hey, I'm really excited about this. I want to take the time to be fully present in this, but I know I can't do that right now. Can we move this to some later time when I know I could be fully present for you? It's not something that's selfish or lazy. It's actually really responsible. And it's also something we can only really do if we follow the first shift and remember to plan ahead. The third shift is to say no early, to protect what matters. On that one-lane road, not everything can pass right away. Every yes that we say and agree to costs something. Time, energy, attention. So we should be asking the question, if I say yes to this, what am I saying no to? Am I giving up rest? Time with my family? Time with God? My mental health? Saying no doesn't mean that you don't care. It means you're making sure you can still care in the long run. And when we have personal assurance over our yeses being yeses and our nos being nos, we can be fully present, give our time, our energy, and our attention to the yeses we agree to. Again, back thinking about this narrow road. The way to success on this road isn't by forcing our way down the road no matter what. It's by knowing when to pause and create space. When you protect your margin, you're protecting your peace. When you create space, you are restoring and protecting your ability to care and love for those close to you in your life. When you slow down, you're able to love others better, not worse. So here's the reflection I want to leave with you today. What road in your life has gotten narrow recently? And what do you need to do to find space in that road again? You deserve room to rest, to think, to be present. Protect that space before burnout takes it from you. In part 2 of this series, we're going to talk about what it means to intentionally design the spaces that we are creating. Because it's one thing to have created spaces for us to rest and pause, but an empty space doesn't have much purpose. In part 2, we'll talk more about that. Until then, I hope you can protect your space.